Hi, what's going on this morning, folks? This is May the 11th, I guess, 2016. It's about 9:25 a.m. Central Standard Time, USA. My name is Rusty. My channel is Rusty78609. And today, let's see, well, the temperature right now is about 68 to 70, which is very nice. We had a little cool front come through overnight. We had a little rain, not much. And today, instead of being in the mid 90s, it's supposed to be in the mid 80s, which is better. And for the next couple of days, about the same. But it's starting to warm up in Texas, and I assure you, in the next month or two, you're going to hear me say, well, today it's going to be 103 because it's coming. Anyway, I did a video yesterday or whenever, and I mentioned about my opinion about global warming. Again, this is the dark side of the moon. This is due to my wonderful lighting in my RV. I live in an RV, a full-time RV for 22 years. Anyway, I mentioned in my video a day or so ago my opinion about global warming. Whether I just don't believe it's man-made. Okay, do I believe that climate change exists? It always exists. The climate is always changing, or we'd still be in the ice age. Okay, how fast it changes, who knows? But we've only been keeping weather records since 1885 in the world. Okay, so uh, the data is this warming is based on a very small, compact period of time, and so it could be misleading. And I think anyway, enough said about that. But since our records are short, okay, then take it all with a grain of salt. And the other point is now we have computers that can analyze anything, all right? And that's going to be another part of this video in just a few minutes. I don't know if any of you watched any of the live streaming from Singularity University. It's a channel on YouTube that I subscribe to. Fascinating. And but it's a think tank for some of the most brilliant businessmen in the entire world, funded by some of the largest corporations in the world. And they're doing a streaming event, have for yesterday and today, I think it's the last day, about how businesses are being impacted by technological changes. And believe me, folks, when you watch some of that stuff, it is just freaking amazing what's happening, what's happened, what's happening, and what's gonna happen. I mean, it's just right around the corner. In fact, I may have mentioned this that in the very near future, in about 15 years, uh, 90 will be the new 60. Okay, people will be living well into their hundreds, and the reason is because everything's monitored. But anyway, as to global warming, let me give you a little analogy or comparison. In the year 1900, when the clock rolled over from 1899 to 1900, of course, all the people were wearing signs on the streets saying the world's going to end, the world's going to end, because it can't go any farther than that. Well, it didn't end because we're here. And also, later on, a few years later, there was an article published in the New York Times, I believe, that pointed out that due to the increase in horse shit on the streets by the horse-drawn carriages, which are increasing dramatically, exponentially, basically, in that large city, that if the growth continued at that rate, then the streets would be impassable by 10 years. You wouldn't be able to get down the street for the horse shit. And that's kind of the way I feel about global warming. Okay, uh, what they didn't think of at the turn of the century was the automobile was right around the corner and fixing to take the horse right out of the picture, which it did very, very quickly. Very quickly. I mean, boom, horse was gone. When's the last time you saw somebody riding a horse going across country? A long time. So anyway, The horse was moved out, the cars came in, the horse shit disappeared, and that problem went away. And so what you're seeing now is global warming. They attribute it to the increase in CO2, carbon dioxide, a small percentage of the gases in our atmosphere, a very small, insignificant almost percentage. But even if you attribute and can believe that it is attributable to the increase in CO2, then I would suggest this. It's kind of the old horse shit theory again, because in the program I watched at Singularity University, and I've watched others on the same topic about solar and other types of energy, wind and so forth, all of these things, the cost per kilowatt is coming down, 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 down. You know, it wasn't that many years ago, it was like $4 a kilowatt. You know, and now it's down to like 19 to 22 cents a kilowatt. Well, that competes very favorably with coal-fired plants. Okay, very damn favorably. So you know, right now I pay about roughly 11 to 12 cents a kilowatt hour in this rural electric co-op I have, but you got to pay $22.50 a month to have it available. They call it an availability fee. So if you factor that in, it goes up a little bit. But point is that technology, even though I don't believe that man is causing global or climate change, I believe that climate change occurs because of things that are happening in the core of the earth, uh, our relationship to other planets, all kind of things in and around us. And and those changes have been occurring for millions of years. A geologist will show you facts that you know, we went through the hot age, the cold age, the medium age, all kind of different stages, and we're probably in a phase now. But these phases last for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. You know, so we're talking about basing a theory on data for 150 years, which is a nothing, nothing. But anyway, so just bear in mind whenever you're thinking about global warming, first of all, governments have to have something to keep people in fear all the time. Okay? This goes all the way back to the beginning of governments, I guess. I mean, the Incas used to threaten and the Aztecs too, and other tribes across the world, the ones that were into astronomy, they would threaten their people with death because the sun was going to be eaten, you know, if they didn't do certain things, because they knew there was an eclipse coming. And as the eclipse started, well, of course, the people all coughed up every dime they had and worked 10 times as hard. And then the high and mighty priests saved their ass, supposedly by making the whatever it was eating the sun or the moon go away. And again, does that work? Hell yes, it works. Does global climate change work? Well, yeah, sure. It'll make people do the craziest things in the world because politicians will pick it up. The media loves stuff like that because they can say you all kind of crap. And uh, you know, and another thing, Mount St. Helens, when it erupted out there in Washington State, uh, put in more CO2 into the atmosphere than all the industry of man since the beginning of industry. All right, and you can check that out. You can verify that. And also, there's other volcanoes that have occurred in the past 100 years that are equally or greater than even Mount St. Helens. But it's all about keeping people in fear so that you can get elected. It's a platform. In other words, I'm going to stop global climate. I'm going to stop climate change. Elect me, you know, and I'll do this and that. You know, and you elect them and they can't do crap, you know. But, you know, again, from when the clock turned over from 1899 to 1900, there were people saying the world was going to end, it's going to end, it's going to end. And if you remember not that long ago, Y2K. Oh, no! From 1999 to 2000, the computers won't be able to do, all the calendars in the computers will malfunction, all the computers are shut down, you won't be able to do any banking. Hell, I had friends and family going to the bank and drawing out thousands of dollars because they didn't think they were going to be able to access their account because of Y2K. Now, who cranked that deal up? The media and the politicians, the same group. So anyway, 70 years has served me well. I mean, I've learned a few things, and again, I had some comments that spurred me to make this video, and I lost some subscribers. But I mean, I'm not doing this for money anyway, so it doesn't bother me. But it just, you know, don't be so set in your ways that you can't change. In other words, if I was confronted with legitimate, believable data that mankind had somehow caused this particular, or had actually caused the climate to change in a negative direction, then I'd not only believe it, I'd start writing to congressmen and doing all kind of things. I mean, how do we stop this? But again, think about the horse shit. Okay, the horse shit was stacking up, but they didn't see the car coming down the road. All right, they just didn't see it. It was coming, coming, coming. And just like this, with even if it is carbon-based fuels that cause climate change, they only got about a 20-year life. That's it. And if you don't think Uber and these other car things that everybody you can use your car as basically a taxi. Hell, they put taxi companies out of business all over the United States in a matter of a few years. Okay, there's another one that starts with a Y. There's Uber and another one I can't remember. But hell, Craigslist basically put newspapers out of business because they sucked up all the classified advertising. I worked in a newspaper for 10 years, and about a good part of our income came from running classified ads. And you know how many classified ads in that same newspaper today? They'll run a classified ad in that newspaper today for free. For free. How about that? So anyway, there's changes coming, and there's a lot of good things coming, folks. A lot of good things coming. Sleep good, enjoy your life, and get the media out of your head. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Okay? Stand guard. Don't let those bastards get in there and dial the screws, because they can do it. Anyway, having said all that, I've got to go get some more light bulbs for my RV. And that's a big day for me. See, I'm kind of a poet. I should have been a songwriter, maybe. Anyway, thumbs up. Carpe diem. Adios, amigos. Bye, 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 bye. I love that shit. Bye, bye. Where's the off? Oh, there it is.